Hi everybody, I'm Ron Cantor and you're watching Out of Zion on God TV. And today we're in the old city of Jaffa. And I wanted to read you a story. This is one of the great miracles of the New Covenant. And it wasn't performed by Yeshua. That's really what makes it so great. It was performed by Peter. And if Peter could do it, that means you and I can do the same miracles. Let's read in Acts chapter 9. In Joppa there was a disciple named Tabitha. In Greek, her name is Dorcas. Doesn't work so great in American English, but I'm told in Africa that's a popular name. She was always doing good and helping the poor. About that time, she became sick and she died, and her body was washed and placed in an upstairs room. Now Lydda was near to Jaffa, and so when the disciples heard that Peter was in Lydda, they sent 2 men and urged him, "Please come at once." Peter went to them, and when he arrived, he was taken to an upstairs room. All the widows stood around him, crying and showing him the robes and other clothing that she had made while she was still with them. Now Peter sent them all out of the room. I want to stop there for a minute. Why did Peter send them out of the room? Because it is very, very hard to pray for somebody who is dead to rise from the dead if you are surrounded by weeping widows who are not walking in faith, who are full of unbelief and are not expecting her to rise. And so Peter literally kicked them out of the room, and then he got focused. The Bible says that after he sent them out, he got down on his knees and he prayed. And then turning toward the dead woman, he said, "Tabitha, get up." She opened her eyes, and seeing Peter, she sat up. And he took her by the hand and helped her to her feet. And then he called for all the believers, especially the widows who didn't believe, and presented her to them alive. The Bible says this became known all over Jaffa, and many people, all Jews by the way, believed in the Lord. So let's look at her life. What was she doing? She was feeding the poor. She was clothing the poor. She had literally made herself too valuable to God on earth to be received into heaven. And God sent her back. Now, I would not want to have been in that conversation in heaven. I can only imagine that maybe it was an angel or maybe the Lord himself, but somebody had to break the bad news to her. You know, "Tabitha, it's great to see you up here. We're so glad that you made it. You love God. You're a great servant, but you know what? The poor in Jaffa need you. We're sending you back." She probably protested, "No, I want to stay." But before long, Peter was praying and she was on her way back. You know what I get from that? And I'm taking a little bit of theological license here. We need to make ourselves so valuable to God that we can't go to heaven just yet. Yes, we want to get there, but we want to live full lives. We want to make an impact on earth before we get to heaven. The Spirit of God is in the inside of us, and God has called us to reach a lost and dying world. Let's be like Tabitha. Let's feed the poor. Let's clothe the poor. Let's preach the gospel. Let's do the works of Jesus in this world. Make sure you never miss even one episode by going to God.tv, and you can find me at roncantor.com. Shalom from the port city of Jaffa.
Please follow Ron on Twitter and Facebook at Ron S. Cantor to find out more about Ron and his ministry. For more information on God TV and the Out of Zion programs, or to view these programs again, go to god.tv/Zion.